just to start off, this year for Comic Relief, I'm involved in a BBC comedy event where 20 people get together, they do 5 minutes of stand-up, and I figured I'd come here and practice it tonight, so I hope you enjoy it. So yeah, as Ben said, my name is Jack Squires, I'm local, I live in Baldock, and I'm involved with this Comic Relief thing. The only problem is I have to go to all these different places when it comes to this. Like just the other day, I had to go down to Luton to do a BBC Three Counties radio interview. And as I was going there, I was on the bus, and I noticed a big building in Luton, and the sign said Luton Dental and Sedation Centre. And I thought it was a bit weird to have a whole building dedicated to sedating people. But then I got off the bus, took a look around, and realised that if I lived in Luton, sedation would probably help. But that's by no means the worst place I've ever been to. I was once in a travel lodge in Gateshead in Newcastle, and I opened a drawer to find a Bible, and the note in the Bible said, "Even a dark place in your life." And I thought, yes, I'm in a travel lodge in Gateshead. But it said, if you're in a dark place in your life, this might help you. And I turned the page, it was just a map with directions out of Gateshead. But yeah, I'm actually quite interested in comedy. I do want to get into comedy. I want to become a comedian. My goal is to get so successful that I get my own celebrity roast. Do you know about these, the celebrity roasts?
No.
Yeah. Well, basically, it's where a group of comedians get together, they tell insulting jokes about each other, and it's a way of showing that you have admiration for your fellow performers. But unfortunately, at the minute, I'm so unknown that the only way I'm getting roasted now is if I'm involved in a car fire. You can really get people's sense of humour on that joke. Some of them are like, car fire, the rest of you are like, ooh, no. No. But yeah, another thing, we've had a lot of cold weather recently, which has been annoying because I have to visit my grandparents because my parents have moved out of the country, so I have to visit my grandmother, and she gets annoying when it's cold. She's one of those, does anyone have an old elderly relative who's like that? When it gets cold, they tell you to they need you to wrap up warm. You know, they're like, oh yeah, just put a jumper on, and a cardigan, and a fleece, and a sweater, and a coat, and a hat, and a scarf, gloves, mittens, and the entire Marks and Spencer's winter collection. Just put it all on. So you don't catch a cold. That's the classic line. You don't want to catch a cold. Please, I'm from Stevenage. The common cold is too scared to come anywhere near me in case it gets something worse, like stabbed. But you know, my grandmother, she's always cold. She's like, oh, it's really chilly. It could be 30 degrees outside, and she's always complaining that it's cold, and I have to remind her that that's not the temperature. That's the cold voice of death slowly breathing down the back of her neck. That's another one of those jokes that really gets people's senses of humour. But you know, so yeah, basically I'm involved with this comic relief thing. A group of people get together, tell jokes. It's a great way to raise money, and hopefully it will go a lot better than the Joseph Kony campaign of 2012, where two American people, only the Americans could come up with this, an idea to stop a Ugandan warlord by buying a bracelet. But it's a crazy idea, but I have to give it to them, because I hear they're going to be coming back this year to stop the North Koreans with the matching earrings. Yeah, but they could stop all the world's problems like that. They could stop the war in Iraq with bags. You know, you could call them Baghdad bags. The world will still be a terrible place, but everyone will be that bit more fabulous, you know. And the world is a terrible place. I was watching a show yesterday, and they said sugar can be as addictive for kids as crack, which is scary, but it's not actually that bad because it doesn't have that the adverse effects. You know, I don't remember the last time a fat kid broke into my house and stole my DVD player for Kit Kat money. You know, and even if he did, he'd probably be easy to stop. You know, but no, if you want to see what a kid would be like on crack, give him an energy drink. You know, have you read the ingredients of them? There's so many E numbers in there. You could sink an entire fleet of battleships just reading the ingredients. No wonder they call it Monster Energy Drink. It turns them into demonic little shits. Their just eyes roll back in their head, just give me more. Crazy. Yeah? There's lots of weird things in this world. Like the way men behave in gyms is weird. I joined a gym at the beginning of this year, which reminded me why I've never joined a gym in 19 years. Because guys Have you seen guys in gyms where they go in the weight room, they pick up the heaviest weight they can to try and impress the ladies with it, and they're standing there like this. You know, have you seen that? It's crazy. No one, they look like Popeye having a stroke. No woman, no, is there any women in the room that's attracted to that? No one. Thank you. And if there is a woman who's attracted to that, the two of you clearly belong together in a secure unit someplace. Okay? But no, we do have these weird. You know, that's the thing. I don't fit in at the gym because there's guys like that. I'm the minority. I don't fit in the gym. I never really fit in. I didn't fit in at school. You know, everyone would be there all confident, happy, answering questions in class. I never liked answering questions. You know, so that I had to think of a way to get out of it. I had to think of a way. And I got into this thing where if the teacher asked me a question, I would say the most obscure thing that came into my mind just to scare them. Like it happened in a languages lesson. The teacher was like, "So, what do you do when you get home?" And I just went, "Well, I like to wait till everyone goes to sleep. I fill up the bathtub with water, turn a cucumber into a periscope, and pretend to be a submarine." And that'll work, but it will go one of two ways. Either you'll never be asked any more questions ever again, or you will be asked a lot more questions, but this time under psychiatric evaluation. But that's the thing, I never fit in at school. I like to be in my own little bubble, and that's how I got in school. But I'm in my own bubble too much, and I'll be walking down the street unaware of the world, and the problem is, I do these things myself that I'm aware of, but no one else is. Like, I've now learned to realise that me walking down the street admiring how soft my new moisturisers made my face just looks like this. Just looks like a man smiling and stroking his own face, like. And I keep my iPod in the top pocket of my jumper, and I'm turning, you know, iPods where they have the volume control, you turn up like that, so I'm just walking around going like this.